Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Scott Reynolds.
Oh, am I supposed to say something now?
Yes.
Hi, I'm excited to talk about my balls and stuff. Like, this is gonna be great.
Your balls.
Talk about this is all gonna be ball stuff. It's gonna be entirely. I have a lot of ball stuff planned. This is gonna be.
I'm excited.
It's
I love
a big
balls.
thing for me. Does anybody? Is that
I
even?
like balls. I think they're fascinating. They're these little guys that move with temperature and excitement.
Is it actually like has it ever been like for you like a sexually exciting thing, like balls, like, oh, those are some good balls, right? I want to,
Like I want to put those in my vagina.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what you do with balls, of course.
Yeah, of course.
As we all know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't be
Yeah.
confused. They go inside the vagina.
They go inside, yes, one after the other.
You can like divide them and like double penetration if you want with each no.
It depends. Yeah, if it's warm and if you can
Yeah.
stretch it. This is
Stretchy, flaccid balls.
Yes.
DP.
Well,
What a start.
yes.
What a start.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't find balls don't turn me on. No.
Okay, I was just gonna say, because I can't imagine that they would for anyone. I was curious because you said that, because I just.
Oh, no,
can't.
for anyone though. Like, there are some very interesting, different people out there, and I'm sure there are people that find balls a turn on.
That's true. There must be. Well, fine. You should ask every person you have on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask them, like, straight off the top. Do you like balls? Like, is that a thing for
Do
you?
balls turn you on?
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
I'm interested in what turns people on a lot, actually. I'm gonna ask that more of my guests because I think it's really interesting.
It is interesting. It's yeah. It can be strange and confusing, and then sometimes it's like, oh, what is that from my childhood or something? Like,
Yeah.
why is that a thing? Like, why do I? Why,
Like,
why?
who touched me like
Yeah,
that?
who made me like this? What does this have to do with my mom, probably, or something? I don't.
Like,
I
what
hope
boundaries
she
were
won't hear
crossed?
this.
I think that every episode. Oh, my poor mom. I'm not going to talk about you this time, Mum, I promise.
Has she listened to some of these?
Yeah, I think she has. My stepdad
Really? Oh,
is
that's
listening,
Okay.
which is almost more terrifying, but
Okay.
I think my mum's listening a little bit.
Well, because you must also, like, obviously you talk to the guests, but you must talk about you stuff as well as part of it. So that's,
Although
You're
I've got a
gonna run out of-
very honest relationship with my parents, and I've told them I've overshared over the years, and
okay.
yeah, and I've just started holding back a little bit more because it's like, how much do they need to know?
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know what my comfort level with that. Probably very low, but also I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would actually be afraid of in that kind of, like. It's not like they're gonna judge me or care or anything like that. It's just kind of like, oh no, that's not.
It just doesn't fit within that relationship
Yeah, it's not. No
dynamic.
No.
And it's probably also informed by the fact that you don't think they want to hear it, so why would you share it?
Exactly. Well, I don't know. Like, maybe I want them to be proud of me, but I don't.
Like, my balls are a
Like,
turn on for some
yeah,
people.
Yeah, mom. She said I was really good. It has happened.
You've done well with your son, okay? I just want.
Yes.
Yeah, I might be able to create grandchildren for you. It's looking good, all right?
I think I have slow swimmers, probably. Just.
Wow, you just believe that you have slow swimmers?
I don't know. I've never accidentally gotten someone pregnant, so I just assume that they're shitty.
Like, it's not because you're careful. It's just
No.
that was a very strong no.
No. I'm careful. I'm very, very careful.
Mom.
Yes,
I'm very...
I think I'm careful enough, mostly.
yeah.
I'm like the normal amount of careful, like usually very careful, and then once in a while, I mean, it's just,
What can you do? Like, I am not careful.
really?
And I wonder if I am infertile because I have never accidentally gotten pregnant. Like, I've never had a pregnancy scare.
Really?
Or surprise, or whatever positive spin you want to put on pregnancy.
Yeah.
Never.
I don't
Touch
know
wood.
if I haven't. I think I haven't come too close to an actual scarily. I don't think there was ever a thing where it was like, oh, there's a good chance after that would have
yeah?
happened. That's never really happened. I did have with
But how can you know? Like, how can, if you
well,
act,
if you ejaculate inside the vagina, that's
there's pre-cum. There's pre-cum.
I know there
Wait,
is, but
right?
that's why it's still risky, right? Like even
Exactly.
if but I've
And that's
but
why
I've-
you can never be sure.
yeah, exactly. Of course,
If you're
that's
in
why
there
it's
without
always
protection.
a little bit like.
Exactly. Exactly.
I never had. I think the closest. This actually freaked me out a little bit because, the girl I was dating earlier this year for a couple of months, she was late. Took a pregnancy test. It was negative, and then told me about that like 2 weeks later. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like,
Why wouldn't you?
why would you to be late and then take the test? Like doing that without telling me is fine. Like it's whatever. But then then she just dropped it in conversation. I was like, oh Jesus fucking Christ! Like you got to tell me that. Like,
Yeah. But it's also, yeah.
And then she got mad that I got that like freaked out about the possibility of her getting pregnant.
Oh no! But this was the relationship that you had in the middle of last lockdown.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
It
I
continued
don't
on
want
a
to.
little bit.
Yeah, relationship is a bit of an overstatement, but I don't. Yeah, no, that. Oh Jesus,
jeez.
that was a mistake. No, it really was.
It really
Oh,
was,
fucking-
yeah. At least she wasn't transphobic though, like the date you had before that.
Yes, no, she wasn't. Wait, actually, no, this is funny. I probably haven't told you this story. When I broke up with her, I was gonna do it anyways, but what started it was that we had a big fight about J.K. Rowling, what J.K. Rowling was, what she said that was transphobic, and she was defending J.K. Rowling and saying that like, oh, no, she didn't really say anything that bad, and if she like capitulated after public pressure, then she'd just be giving in to like PC-ness or something. And I was like, no, that's really. There are like results. Like she's a very famous person.
Yeah.
There are consequences to basically what it seemed like she was doing, whether or not it was her intention to be mocking trans women. Anyway, so actually we got in a very big fight because of that. Then she said,
I love that trans
Yeah.
issues are sort of shaping your relationship.
apparently
great.
it's a hot thing. Yeah, no, and then she said to me, I think, what was the exact, I hope she doesn't listen to this, she'll fucking murder me, but I don't know, we're not in touch. Anyways, no, she said
Murder you. Oh my god, it was a bad relationship.
no, and then she said, I forget the thing that she said that made her say this, but she said like, "Oh, can't you fit that inside your tiny man brain?"
Oh no.
So at which point I was said, "Okay, I'm leaving," and then anyways, and
Oh my god. That
Yeah.
is that's too much. Like
Yeah.
you're a good guy. You're a good guy, Scott.
I think so mostly,
And you're also not dumb in any way. And like, wow, she really wanted to hurt you. That's nasty.
She was well. She also then after that, then I did break up with her before I left, and she threw books at me. Actually, she got very upset. Yeah, that was a whole thing.
What do you think you did wrong? Like, not wrong. How do you think you hurt her? Because
I think because she had a very different impression of what was going on than I did. Like I was like, oh, this is fine to hang out a couple of, and I wasn't like dating anybody else. And I told her, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going on Tinder or anything. I'm not like, sure, we're doing this. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I thought I was pretty clearly leaving like a trail of breadcrumbs that I was not that intensely into it or not that serious about it. And she really was. And she apparently was like completely blindsided by what I was saying, like, oh, I don't feel that strongly about this, and I don't think it's
Or like we're just taking this slowly, or we're just getting to know each other.
No,
You were really quite explicit. You were like, I'm not.
When I broke up with her, yeah, because that's what happened. She said tiny man brain. I said I'm leaving because that's ridiculous and mean and, and
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. And then when I was saying that I was leaving, then she got very upset and started saying that and was saying how she was very much, she said she was really in love with me, which we hadn't obviously. And I was like, okay, well, I can't leave that. I'm not like I
Yeah.
can't let you say that and just like not.
Yeah.
And then she really wasn't expecting that apparently. And then it was a whole thing. It was very dramatic. I've never had a dramatic breakup before, and they're terrible. I hope I never have another one again.
They are.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
really
that.
are horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
she threw books. Did she throw J.K. Rowling at you?
no. No, that would have been funny though. No, she threw books at me because they were books that I had recommended that she bought and read because she did another one of like a bunch of signs that it was not like I would mention like in conversation like, oh, this book, that's great or whatever. And then she would immediately order it on Amazon Prime and read it and tell me that she read it, and I was kind of like, oh, like she did that a lot, like very maybe she obviously just liked books as well, but like there were things like that where I don't know, I was uncomfortable with like the level that she was trying to please kind of
align with you.
And I think she just chalked up kind of the way that I acted about everything to my personality, basically. Just like that's like, oh, you're just like this, because that I am sometimes, sure, like in terms of being more I don't know,
being more
not being particularly
demonstrative of affect,
yeah, I guess,
of
yeah,
love,
exactly,
or
yeah, no, exactly,
not a super emotional kind of guy. So she thought,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
well,
She
not
also,
that you're not emotional, but
no, of course not.
effusive.
But that's, yeah, exactly, or just being.
Was the sex good? Because I've got a theory that crazy people, like when you have really dramatic, crazy relationships, the sex is really good.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't really a dramatic. It was only dramatic at the end. Before that, it was just very chill. Like I was just like, oh, I liked hanging out with her, and it was fine. It was. I was okay with it because it was more relaxed, but that was because that was what I was comfortable with for it. I don't know. The thing is, I really realized after I was like the level at which I was not comfortable with that stuff. Sober, especially if that's like it was definitely. I kind of realized like, oh, like the intimacy aspect is like, like I didn't really realize it at the time because you don't really say to yourself like, oh, I'm not really comfortable being intimate with this person in an actual way when you're in the thing, because then that's I don't know, you don't want to admit that to yourself, I guess. And then I realized later and like looked back at it, and it was kind of my behavior, the way I felt about it, was like, oh, I was not really I was not, just wasn't comfortable with a lot of the stuff. But no, it was I
And you
mean,
think alcohol and drugs in general?
yeah, different
skewed
stuff.
it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Were you still like okay? So you started taking drugs a bit late.
Late in life.
Late
yeah,
in
yeah,
life,
yeah.
yeah.
Like two years ago.
2 years ago.
For the first time.
But
yeah.
you've been in Berlin for like 8 years.
No, like 3 years in the first. I've been in Germany for that long.
You've been in
But
Germany
yeah,
for 8
Berlin
years?
not very long though. No.
Berlin, 3
not very
years.
long. Yeah.
And it was only 2 years ago that you started taking drugs. And so when we got
Yeah.
to know each other, when you started doing comedy in Berlin.
Yeah, I started, that was like two years ago and a bit, but also I was living farther away, so I wasn't around as often, I wasn't seeing people, and I was also just scared to talk to people for like the first half year or year I was doing it, so it took me a while to actually get to know people a little bit. Yeah.
And so, when we first got to know each other, which was about, when was it? Like, I think it was the last stand that we first met, and it was maybe 2 years.
Could have been. I did it probably around 2 years ago. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, or
Around the time that I was doing dinner comedy, or a bit before.
No, before dinner comedy, because that was last year in the summer.
Yeah.
I missed that very much, by the way. I was just seeing the place on the way here. I was like, oh, dinner comedy. Oh.
Such good memories.
Yeah,
right?
no, it was great. Yeah. Not mostly. it was good in the hut, but because the outdoor thing with the crowds was sometimes like, but it was always the most fun like hangout
It
thing
was
on
the
Fridays. Yeah, it was great.
yeah, dinner comedy. One day it will come back. I will bring it back.
I look forward to it. I would like that very much. Very great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you started taking drugs about 2 years ago, and then and that was when we met, and you were sort of really exploring substances. And so I'm curious about with this relationship. Last little bit about this relationship.
Sure.
Were there drugs involved in your?
A little, yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
You guys were enjoying each other's company with drugs as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think I realized that probably played a bigger part. Like not all the time, really not all the time. But I think it's kind of
Not all the time, not all the time.
no. But like but especially because it was lockdown. You never have something the next day. There would be, she made a lot of money too, and so she would pay for things. And like that, I do a joke about this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She would pay. Oh, so she bought all the drugs.
Not all the time, but like often. And
it was
was
like
very
party
happy
drugs.
to do that kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
So okay, so drugs did come into play.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I wouldn't say it was a discard. Like if anything, that was more. If anything, that would have kept things going because it's hard to not have a great time with drugs, like regardless of the thing, and like and any.
It depends on how crazy the person.
Okay,
is.
sure. Yeah, no, it never got crazy or anything, but
because I've had dynamics that have gotten crazy. Like
okay.
We really So the
no, it wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't.
No. It wasn't like that. It just like definitely glazed over or helps to very much minimize any like that. I would not, if I was sober, I would probably have really strong inhibitions with somebody I'm not comfortable being intimate with, obviously, because that's like.
I think drugs and alcohol, drugs can really sustain relationships beyond what they should have.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I don't think it was a huge. I mean, I would say like what we were dating for like 2 months. We probably did drugs for like 4 times or something. It wasn't that much.
But there would have been alcohol and weed.
Yeah, alcohol and weed and stuff like that. Yeah,
but you're not counting those, right?
No, that's not. That's not drugs.
That's just like every day.
That's just like that's just.
It's just normal. That's like breakfast and dinner and lunch. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, my theory of sex with people that are bad for you being good is therefore false with this in this case.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was necessarily more bad or good there, but it was just like regardless of any like objective quality of it being bad or good, like I can definitely remember being uncomfortable with it at times, being like, it's.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious about what that is, even though it's not particularly like sexually related, but like it's funny, these uncomfortable things. Like I've mentioned a few dynamics that I've had over the last couple of episodes that have made me really uncomfortable with people, and when I've listened back to them, I feel like I sound really picky or really like just judgmental of a person.
Oh well,
it's not the case. It's like these situations were really odd for me and left a really strange feeling for me, but it's funny when you put them into words, it can just sound like you're like hypersensitive and with high expectations.
I guess so. I'm definitely the same way though, but I don't think it's hypersensitive or high expectations. I think it's just like I don't know. It can be different with different people. I don't know if it's necessary because I can say like for me, like the amount of people that I've been actually properly comfortable with is like, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Sexually?
Yeah. Like actually like fully comfortable where you're actually, you can, like I was the opposite of what I was describing before, basically.
But is that not just a matter of like comfort with someone?
Yeah.
It's a matter of time, right? Like there's got to be chemistry, and then chemistry plus time equals comfort.
Or just more. I don't even know. It's maybe not necessarily time. I feel like with most of the things that I can think of with that, it's been pretty it would have been pretty quick, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, no, this is fine. This makes sense. I'm okay with this, you know, which normally is kind of like, nah, like that's fair. I don't. It's very personal, you know,
Yeah,
and
it
the
is.
idea of somebody seeing that without, you know, things to lower your inhibitions, then is very scary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, inhibitions.
yeah.
Inhibitions.
hmm
I
I
was
got
cute.
loads.
You've got. I do not. I do not, and I'm pushing myself more and more with certain things. Like I like to push my boundaries. What's the crazy like? Have you put yourself into crazy sexual situations, or like in terms of Berlin's
Crazy
sex
sexual
party scenes, or have you been in any
No.
crazy situations
I
like
haven't
that?
been. I don't think I've been in any crazy situation. I mean, I've been to. I don't think I've been to like a sex party before. I've been to like a number of gay parties because my best friend who in Berlin is gay, and we go out a decent bit together.
Yeah.
And those are obviously like it's pretty openly quite sexual
Yeah.
what's going on and stuff
Right.
like that. Um, but and I don't know. I went to Kit Kat one time, but it was on like the normal night. It was on the Monday when they have. It's just like you don't need dress code or anything, and it was just really. It just felt really fucking greasy. Like it
Right.
was just I wasn't. Maybe if you go there on the Friday or Saturday, whatever is the normal, like the actual Kit Kat day, then it's like, oh, look at all these crazy people. But also, I don't really belong there. I'm not that freaky, you know. I'm pretty. So it was just kind of.
What would you wear if you did go to the Friday,
To the
Saturday night?
Friday, Jesus.
Like, what would be your get up if you were gonna go to a
I
sex
don't
club
know.
like
I
that?
think I would have to go to. I think I would try and like get around the aspect of the outfit being like fetishy by just having something where I have more things covered, but it's just kind of crazy or something in some other way. I don't know. I probably just wouldn't do it. I don't think
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
really because again, it's not that I'd be uncomfortable. It's just that that's not really. I'm not really supposed to be there. Like it's
Yeah.
not for me. Like it's for people who are more fun and interesting. Like
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't.
really.
It's not about. Well, you're judging yourself quite like harshly there. It doesn't make you fun and interesting if you want to go to a sex. Maybe it does.
I don't know. I don't think I would want to go there like by myself and try and like bang somebody in public
Bang
like
somebody.
there. Then I don't think I do that. The time that I went there, I went
Or be banged.
or be banged by somebody. Yeah, no, that's not on my to-do list. No, and the time that I did go, I went with a girl I was seeing at the time last year, but we weren't going there for any purpose of like, oh, we're gonna go there and fuck, you know, like people like we were had no interest in doing that. I think it was just because we wanted to go out on the Monday, and none of the other like bigger clubs had a Monday party. So we're like,
Yeah.
oh well, let's go see what it is, and you know, why not? And but
Did
it
you
was
see a lot of sex?
no, there was a little bit, and it was kind of sketchy. Like, she actually told, like, she was really worried because she thought that she saw like a couple having sex and thought that the girl was maybe not particularly in control of her faculties at the time, and was really concerned about it. And then also she was saying like anytime I would like if I would go to the bathroom or something, then because then she would be like a girl sitting alone, and then guys would come up to her and start talking to her like when I wasn't there for a few minutes, because guys go there and think like, oh, it's Kit Kat, I'm gonna you know, plow somebody inside this place, and so they see a girl by them, and it's like, oh, you're a
Yeah.
Kit Kat and you're a girl, like you're gonna
That
fuck
means
me.
you want to.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So the whole feeling was just kind of like, no, I don't. Maybe with the costumes and stuff, it's fun, but it was not a fun experience. I probably wouldn't go there again. But they're doing corona vaccines there now, which
I
is
know.
hilarious.
Vaccines or tests? They're doing tests, right?
Oh, tests. Sorry, yeah,
Tests.
not vaccines. Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully
yeah.
they do vaccines then.
Yeah, though they had the cleanest bathrooms of any club I've ever been in.
Oh yeah.
They have a guy there taking care of, because normally the bathrooms are disgusting in clubs. Like
Yeah.
they're fucking nasty.
Like so nasty.
Absolutely,
Ugh.
like extremely nasty. And these were like you could eat off the floor. I swear, it was insanely
Wow.
clean. There's like an attendant, a guy in there just cleaning constantly.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
recall that when I was there. I wonder why.
I don't think I was
Yeah.
even on very much of anything when I was there. Maybe that's why I wasn't. I don't know.
I think I was on just a little bit of something something when I was there. Both times
Yeah.
I was there, there was a little bit of something, but not too
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, if you're going out, No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, yeah, there was a lot of mushroom intake at one point for me. Which,
Oh, that'd be fun. I've never done psychedelics for going out. That'd be
oh yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. It's changes the game.
I feel.
quite a
Yeah, I
bit.
can imagine. I feel like I would be afraid of the fact that those can take you in different directions, as opposed to like party drugs, where it's like your happy button is here, burp, and there
Burp.
you go, and it's like that's very reliable,
Energy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Feeling
like this.
empathetic.
I know exactly. Like I know exactly what I'm getting with this thing. That's a little bit.
Whereas like psychedelics, it's like, ooh, what inside me is going to be exposed?
Yeah, no, this is why I take only very small amounts of acid. I haven't done acid like very many times because
We've done it together.
I took a little bit the last time I
last
was
time you
here
were
for your
here.
birthday, but I took like an eighth and then I left and
But there was strong acid.
it
I
was
took an
pretty
eighth
strong.
too,
That
and
might
I
have been the
was.
first time I ever had any actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, but I've never taken more than a quarter at a time. I take like an eighth and then later take another eighth. Is
think-
normally, which is like that's plenty. Like
It's so
I'm
plenty.
really lots. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's gonna happen if I take like a full half tab
Oh
or
my
something
God.
like
I think
that. It's
I'm
like, I
trying.
don't-
The first time I ever took acid, my friend who actually we're in Melbourne, and my friend who lives here, she went to get some pills from this local bar.
Okay.
And she came back and she was like, they didn't have any pills, but we got acid. And we're all like, okay. And we're all pretty fucking drunk already. And so
Yep.
I don't remember how much we took, but it was insane. Like maniacal laughter that turned into crying, that then turned into laughter again, and just like, yeah, very sort of.
That can be fun.
It was
I
really
guess.
fun.
Yeah.
It was a trip though. Like I came to at one point, and I was emptying and then repacking my bag, and I didn't know how long I'd been doing it for.
It's like, oh, this is just my life now. My life is this bag.
Yeah. Like who's the guy that pushes the column?
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus,
Yeah,
exactly. Sisyphus pushing the columns up the mountain. That was me with my handbag.
That's
No idea what I was looking for. No idea.
that's great. Yeah, it's weird. It can sometimes, like I've had experiences where it affects me the same as like some kind of an upper or an amphetamine where it's like, oh, I gotta do things now, like
Yeah,
but then sometimes it's the opposite. Like that's why I'm saying what I was saying about like using it for like going out or something like that. It's like I don't know. It's like it could go in a.
It can go, yeah. Mushrooms, I feel, are safe. Like, you can eat mushrooms, small doses. You just have, like, one mushroom. And because I had a boyfriend who grew mushrooms, and so we just had
Oh,
this
well,
endless
then,
supply. Yeah. And so it'd be like, I just have a pocket full of mushrooms, and during the night, I just chew on a mushroom and keep going, and then have a drink, and then have another mushroom. And, yeah, and I don't know. I think there's some really beautiful spiritual uses for mushrooms. Would I do it again like that? Probably. Maybe if I have plenty in my
I mean, if it's just
possession.
there,
If it's just there. But it is different. Like there's a different level of like what happens to your brain. It's very out of body experiences. It can be quite sort of spiritually moving as opposed to just like fun party.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Well, I only had, I didn't try acid until I think like a year ago, and like only small. I haven't had it too many times, anyways. But I had mushrooms only one time, but it was a long time ago, like 10 years ago or more. And I had what I later found out was like a ridiculously high dose of mushrooms. I had 7 grams.
Oh wow!
Which is a massive amount. Yes, it was my first time. Whoever the fuck was in charge of giving, like in the group of friends that I was with at the time, whoever was in charge of that was a fucking moron for giving me that much, because they knew that I hadn't had it before.
So was it in a pill form or what was it?
No, it was mushrooms. It was actual mushrooms.
Actual
They just
mushrooms.
chewed
And
on
7
mushrooms,
grams is. I'm trying to think of what that looks like, but
I don't know what it looks like. I remember being told that it was 7. They were like, yeah, this is like a full dose, 7 grams. I was like, cool, great. And then like later when I've told people that, they're like, yeah, that is way too, especially for your first time. Like that's massive. And I got I felt very sick for like an hour.
yeah.
And I thought I was going to throw up and I wanted to throw up, wanted it to be over because the things that were happening, I wasn't ready for it either.
Yeah, fuck.
But then I didn't throw up, and then I settled and had a great time. And it was but also it was like it was a lot. Like I don't want to do that again.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
take way less if I ever did that.
I think it can be very overwhelming. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It was. It was just like no, no, no. Like things. I don't know. Maybe it's because of. I always felt like, you know how on TV shows and stuff like that, when people smoke weed, then they see like a big purple elephant in the corner or something. And then so you see that and then you start smoking weed and you're like, oh no, there are no hallucinations when you smoke weed. You don't see anything like that. So then when I actually hallucinated, I was like, oh, I was really not ready for it. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And it was like, no, this is too much for me to take in.
do you remember what you hallucinated?
I didn't see like a whole new thing that wasn't there, but the things that were there were like moving and changing like very drastically, and it was just like this is like, oh no, this is actually happening. I didn't think this would actually, you know.
I think
it was a lot.
Yeah, I've been overwhelmed a couple of times. It was with the same boyfriend that grew mushrooms, and one night we're at this bar, and he brought jungle juice, so he made in a blender juice with the mushrooms.
Oh,
and he brought it in, and we were sipping from it, and we kind of were getting close to finishing the bottle, and I was like, "How many mushrooms were in there?" And he was like, 20. And it was just like, and it was like a 650 ml Coke bottle.
Holy fucking
of
hell!
juice
Because
with 20
it takes a while to
mushrooms.
come on, right? So if you have a ton, you don't know really. I guess like Jesus.
Yeah, and it was basically my friend that was with us. She had like a little swig, and we finished the bottle. And we were in this bar that feels quite like lots of quite psychedelic lighting already. Lots of reds, lots of bright lights, lots of dark corners, lots of crazy people from this little area, and like Wrangelkiez, so near Schleswig.
Oh yeah, Wrangelkiez. Yeah, I love it there. Yeah, nice place.
But like this, it was at Walter Bar before it closed down. Anyway,
no, I don't know it.
And
but it's a nice area.
Yeah, and it came on and it was so intense, and so we called it an Uber, and this fucking Uber that arrived had LED lighting that changed colors inside the interior and like TV screens on the back of the two front seats.
Was it an Uber driven by one of the Coke taxis?
I think so. It was so intense. It was like
Holy
we wanted an
shit.
escape, and we ended up in this psychedelic car. And then we got back to my place, and I was sitting in the bathroom, and I had this really narrow bathroom, and the walls of the bathroom were just moving out into space, like it was just elongating and then moving back.
That's
in.
better than coming in on you. That's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
you're like,
true.
oh, I have all this space, great.
Yeah, but it was sort of like I was getting lost in the space, and that was really intense. And then there was another time sort of similar to that where we ate these really big fresh mushrooms he'd grown, and they were like the diameter of maybe like a €2 coin. That was the thickness of the trunk of this mushroom.
Yeah,
and we ate that, and it was again, it's like with mushrooms, you've really got to just be like trust the process, but when it's overwhelming, it's really hard. It can be really hard.
Yeah, no, that's like what it was. Anyway, I only know from the one time, but it was very much like that at the, which is why I'm very careful with acid, and I don't even take like a quarter at a time. Like,
I think
like,
a quarter is too much. Yeah,
just take an eighth and then get another eighth later, and that's fine. Like that's
I think that's wise.
That's enough. This is the Drugs Podcast with Anna Barros. We're doing
well, it's
here.
adults only content, right? Adults
Yes.
only.
Adults
children.
only, except for hopefully my parents. They're gonna fucking.
But we're safe. We're careful. You were just saying how you're conservative in your consumption of psychedelics, so that's
Yes.
good.
Oh no. Conservative. I'm conservative with everything now. I mean, I'm much calmer than I would have been like a year ago or so or something. So I had
You
like a
ended
thing
up
where I
in
was like,
hospital
let's
a few
try this.
times last year.
Hospital? No, I didn't. One time I split my head open on the toilet at Suicide Circus, and that had
Just that that sentence
Just
alone
that
is
one
like,
time.
you were off the rails, man. Like, you split your head open
I wasn't
off
even
the
yeah, it
toilet
was
bowl
exactly.
at Suicide
Yeah.
Circus. Like,
And for the people listening who don't live in Berlin, who don't know, like Suicide Circus it's actually a very it's not even a crazy club. It's like a
No.
more relaxed. It's a very normal club. But if you don't know that, you just hear Suicide Circus, it sounds
yeah,
bad.
it does.
No, I wasn't I didn't need stitches. I wasn't in the hospital. I just had to go to a clinic and like get some tape put on it, and that was it.
What
And
about-
that was the only thing. I never had to do anything I never like I'm careful with when I take things. Like I'm not getting close to having a problem or anything.
True. No, and I'm not implying that. It was just like you were going hard and you were ending up like didn't you also cut your throat?
What?
You
No.
there was a cut somewhere. There was a cut on your head, and then
There's a
another
cut on my head. I cut my throat shaving sometimes. I don't think I've ever cut my throat on drugs. I think I remember that. I'm extremely like I've like sure there have been times where I've gone hard in your words, no, but no, I like to think that I'm very high functioning with all of my vices.
You
know,
are,
it's like
you
it's
are.
very I work for the government. If any of my bosses hear this, I'm fucked. You know?
Well, you do this in your spare time, and
Yeah, no, I'm
you're-
very responsible
Yeah.
with these things. I've never, my health has never been in trouble. I never passed out or anything like that. It was like that. Even when I split my head open, I swear to God, completely serious, I slipped. It was very slippery on the floor in there because the toilets are nasty.
Yeah, they're
I
nasty.
slipped. I didn't quite have the wherewithal at that moment to put my hands out, and I smashed my head.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
That
I
was
didn't
the
like
only-
pass out. Yeah, that's the only time I've never had a drug-related health scare whatsoever.
There
Anything.
wasn't anything else that happened in like a comedy setting with
In
another
a comedy setting, I very rarely would do anything in a comedy setting. The only
Bollocks!
thing was like
Bollocks!
you
You were having
It
great
was-
after show partying last year and the year before. What are you talking
no,
about?
just not the year before, just last year.
Just last year. Okay.
Last year,
True.
last winter was like October through February of like last winter was kind of the nitty-gritty.
peak of your
Yeah.
peaking.
Yeah, exactly. But and even then, still very controlled. Mom, I'm not. She's never fucking hearing this. But
So let's talk about sex then.
yes, we should. Yeah, I'm more. Yeah, no, let's sure. Do you have questions?
Do I have questions? I wanna close my door.
I'm great at it. I'll just while you close your door, I'll just tell everybody, for the folks at home, I'm so good at sex. I'm amazing. I'm waiting for you to come back now. I'm not.
That's good. That's
I'm
good.
not. I'm not.
What makes you? What, hold on. Okay, let me get back into the. All right. So you're so great at sex.
No, I'm not. I was being facetious. It was not really.
We mentioned what turns you on. Like, yeah. Let's talk about what turns you on.
Okay. Yes.
Or you could go into
sure.
like porn categories.
Porn
or...
category. Well, that's interesting. I used to do jokes about this too. So I watch very I like porn that's made for women, basically.
Yeah,
I
you
enjoy.
do.
No, I really do. Like I like the because production quality first of all.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it when the men are not like 50 years old and red-faced and bald and disgusting, and they're just there because they have a massive cock. It
That
really
annoys me
disturbs me.
so
It
much.
really disturbs me. It's like this lovely, nice girl is just getting, like she wouldn't fuck this guy ever. Like it's and it's just like, I feel bad for her. She shouldn't have to do this.
But on top of that, it's just the double standards that a woman can be super hot.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be super athletic and hot. And then this guy is just this penis attached to this
Yeah.
failure of...
It's weird. I don't know who the giant cocks are for too, because like it's mostly like I know obviously women watch porn too, but it's more men.
Yeah.
And so there has to be something behind the fact that there need to be giant dicks all the time. I don't know if it's like we're supposed to be imagining that it's ours and we're supposed to feel good when it's a big one. I don't.
How do
really...
you feel when you see a big dick in porn?
I'm used to it because they're all like
Do you
that.
want to see big dicks in porn?
No, no, of course not. I don't. I have no. I would like to see regular ones and be fine. Like it's just, but no. I like. Again, like the production value, the atmosphere. When like the
Yeah.
atmosphere is actually like there's something like erotic to the atmosphere, and it's not
Yeah.
just like it's like hi, like oh I brought it. Here's your pizza. Like oh I can't pay for it. You suck your cock. Like and then they just pound or like the amateur camcorder thing is like it's gross. I don't want to see that. Like
Yeah.
it's
Bad lighting is such a turn off for me.
no,
Like
it's
when the
it's
lighting's
horrible. Yeah,
bad.
no, I enjoy like when they actually like when there's some atmosphere to it, and when there's a pretty lady. That's pretty much
A
it.
pretty
It's like
lady.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like pretty ladies in porn. That's my main thing.
All right, so it's
Yeah.
it's pretty safe.
Very safe. Yeah, this is nothing weird. Like, but it's still it. I still feel like it's specific. Like when I'm looking through to choose something, I'm still very picky about it.
Okay.
But these are my criteria, not just like not something else
Yeah.
weird.
The like good production value makes
Makes
it
a huge
hard.
difference.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
makes it
yeah.
hard to find a good one.
It does make it. Yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so high quality porn for you. Have you ever
Yes.
have you invested in things like a porn membership?
It's funny you should ask. I've actually,
Yeah?
for the first time in my life, since a few weeks ago, I got 1 month of Pornhub Premium. 1 month. I'm just
Is that
gonna do
when
the
your
1
girlfriend
month.
went away?
Exactly. Yeah. So I was just like, well, if this is gonna be what I'm doing, I might as well treat myself, right? It's like
gonna
it's
treat
it's
myself.
it's €10 for a month.
It's like Netflix.
It's like yeah, exactly. It's not, and I'm not gonna do it all the time because I don't even
can.
even now when that's my only means of
Sexual enjoyment.
coming. Yeah. It's I don't even do it like very often, like maybe once in a week, once or twice in a week or something
Really?
like that. Yeah, yeah.
You only use porn once or twice a week, but you'd masturbate more than that.
Yeah, probably. Well, now, yeah. I mean, not when there's a person around, but then that's obviously less. But it's kind of
Is
just
that because
like
you're living together?
we don't live together.
No.
No.
So it's just more like you get your needs filled because you get to see them every second day or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, often. But no, but even now when that's the only thing I have going on, it's not for every time. But that was kind of my idea with getting the premium is like when I do it, it's not like oh I need I'm gonna pull up some images because that's what I need to like get me there to get the job done because that's not what it is. It's like oh I have some time. I'm gonna enjoy
Explore.
this a little bit, or it's just like I want to take my time, and it's like a treat. It's like oh, porn, you know. So it's kind of like if I'm gonna do that, then why not make a bunch more stuff available?
Yeah.
The biggest difference with the premium is that
Yeah.
the videos are way longer because normally they're like 10 minutes because
Yeah.
it's like just part of a thing.
Yeah.
Which is like the normal amount. Like you don't really
You
need
don't
more
need
than that.
more, no.
But then with it, they're like 30 minutes to an hour long of the same thing. So then
Interesting.
I get sucked in for a really long time sometimes, just because if you're like, oh, this is great. It's like I don't want to be done. I want to keep watching this because it's
So
really
you
fun.
keep going.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, kind of.
So you have like a full solo lovemaking session because the quality of the video
exactly. I want to, like I said, I want to enjoy it. Like I was like, this is
It's a treat.
it's a treat. Yeah, it's
You
like
put some
I'm gonna
rose
treat
petals
myself.
out. You pour yourself a glass of prosecco. Seeing you in the bathtub,
I
feet
don't.
up.
No. But anyways, that's the idea behind it. And so I'm not going to continue having. I felt a little bit like when I was like entering my credit card information. I was like,
I'm one of them.
paying for sex things now. But it's kind of like okay, it's justifiable and it's been fine. But I'll finish the month and then that's gonna be it.
But like, yeah, and I think though, a premium porn site for a man, I think also a premium porn site for a woman, and like there's some really cool feminist porn sites I guess out there. But the thing is, women, like, there's no sleazy feeling around a woman spending money on a sex toy.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like empowered. Like, oh, look at you independently
Yeah.
engaging with your body's pleasure.
Yeah, that's true. Well, but men are horrible, like that's the thing. So it's kind of like when and porn can be so exploitative. I don't know how to pronounce
yeah.
that. So I feel a little bit like,
yeah. The
I'm a
fact
nice
that you have those
person.
feelings, oh, that's super cute. No, but
no,
that's like
no, no,
cheating.
no, no.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, it's like I bought this sex toy before this lockdown, and I haven't really I don't use it every time I masturbate at all. But like,
No,
for
it's for
special
special. It's
occasions.
for special. Exactly. It's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm
Yeah.
not like this isn't about like there are times when it's about like servicing a physical need, and you're like, I
Yeah.
can't go outside right now like this. I need to do this first. And then it's like and then there are times when it's like, oh, I have time. Why don't I do this? That would be fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I've got a spare. Like, I've got all this time ahead of me. And for me, it's like my housemates are out. I don't know. With like a vibrator, I feel like you can hear it. Like, it just seems
Yeah,
so loud for me.
yeah,
I can't.
I wouldn't know, but that's one thing that's nice about living alone. That's why I live all the fuck the way out where I do is because I can live alone.
You can
It's
masturbate for
nice.
as long as you.
Well, it's more it's more of a useful thing for having someone over. Like when
Yeah.
you have someone there, it's kind of like you never have to be like, it's a roommate there. Like do I have to be quiet? Or it's like no, just go nuts.
Yeah, back when I used to, so like last year when I've been living in this apartment for 2 years now, and when I did take drugs and drink and smoke weed, I was
Yes.
not considerate of my housemates at all.
Is it about being considerate though, or is it just like because I would just be embarrassed for me? I'd be kind of like, I don't want people to have to,
I
hear
didn't
me
give
like,
a
ugh,
shit.
I don't want anyone to hear that.
Like I didn't make the people that I was with be quiet, and I was not quiet. Like
Okay.
I did
Like
not
you just
hold back.
didn't even try. Like
Didn't
that's what
try.
well, that's good because I would normally think living with roommates it would just be annoying to always have to worry about it. To be like, oh, I can't really, you have to like, be quiet.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm sober and now that I know exactly how much, I've moved to the middle room, so I've got both my housemates on either side. So now I've only had one guy over since I've been in this room.
Because you've been sober.
Yes. It's been a very dry year, okay? The last time I had sex was actually last night. I finally broke my dry spell.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Oh, great. Let me interview you about that, man.
yeah,
What? No, now I want to know about this. I don't know. Whatever.
It's 4.5
we're
months since I'd had sex.
Holy
until
fucking
last night.
hell. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Were you trying to not have sex for that much time?
No, I just wasn't. The moment wasn't right, and I wasn't interested in anybody really. And like the moment wasn't right with this person that I did have sex with last night, and then.
I can see that though, just having fatigue, just being like, like especially if there's nothing with anybody that you really feel like you want to.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, I just wasn't like I've stopped using dating apps completely this year, and like since I had last had sex, I
Yeah.
had stopped using dating apps, and then this person was around, but they kind of annoyed me at one point, and I kind of like
Yeah, that's a turn off.
stopped. Yeah, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. And then yeah, he asked the right question this week, and I was like, yeah, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And it was
Was it a
great.
good decision? It was a good decision.
It
You're
was
happy
wonderful.
with your decision. That's
It
great.
was
That's
really
very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see like the redness of my chin? Like from
No.
No, my chin's very red.
What's that from? Is it
That's
from beard?
It's from beard.
Because I know because I give beard redness as well.
Well, it's
Obviously,
from the
so I
lack
don't-
of beard actually. It's like freshly shaven.
Oh, okay, from the stubble.
Yeah, or like not even
yeah.
the stubble, just like I think it's just from like too much contact and like not too much, but you know what I mean, a lot of contact and just that slight like when you rub down on a rub up on a freshly shaven chin, then it's like a bit spiky.
Whenever I rub up on a freshly shaven chin, yes, I'm familiar with this feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a yeah. Well, that especially after a long time.
Four and a
That's
half months. Yeah.
yeah.
How long have you been having really regular sex for now? How long have you been with your girlfriend?
Um, I think I don't know where I think like middle
5
of
months?
August or something.
Okay.
Middle of August
So
to
for as long
like
as I was
middle
celibate,
of November. So I guess that's like what 4
3 months.
months?
Yeah.
3 months.
3
Yes.
months.
Yeah.
So you were having the most regular sex you've ever had, whilst I was having no sex for the longest time I've ever
Apparently,
had.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, suck it.
Well, now she's gone, and
I
now
was- yeah,
I'm
exactly,
having
yeah.
sex. We are in opposites completely.
Yeah. Ah.
And we both had our first lockdown relationships as well. But mine was a good one, but yeah, that's interesting. The flow there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. Yeah. Again, I was in the wilderness for a long time before the past little while. So it's kind of like I don't.
You deserve it. You
Thank you.
deserve it.
Thank you.
I'm happy
I
for
agree.
you.
It's-
Yeah. I feel like I deserved last night too. Like
well, yeah. Of course. I mean, Jesus.
4.5 months.
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also the first person
you-
I've had sex with that with all of my body hair as well, which is an interesting thing.
Have you not been? Have you been just letting everything?
Yeah, I'm politically motivated to not remove any of my body hair anymore.
None. Nowhere.
None.
Forever.
Well, nothing's forever, but like
Okay.
politically, I don't understand why I would remove it.
Okay. Well, politically, I agree with you.
Yeah. Politically, I agree with you. However, I have my preferences.
No,
sub-quote.
no, not really. I don't.
Oh, you
I
do,
don't
because
care
you're
that much
shaped. Definitely, your beauty preferences are shaped by social standards, right?
I mean, I guess like you get used to things being a certain way just because normally things are a certain
Exactly.
way. But then
And
no,
that's
but
the
when
same
it's
for women
but-
when they look at their bodies.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
they expect to see no body hair in certain places.
Yeah, no, of course. But when it's not, I mean, when it's not like that, like it doesn't really. You just kind of like for a second because you're not used to it, and then you're like, no, that it's fine, and then it's fine. It doesn't.
And then
matter,
it's
you know?
fine,
Then
yeah.
it's totally fine.
Yeah, even me, it's like yeah, like exposing my body hair.
Yeah.
Last night was like
Did you warn him? Where you're like, by the
he
way,
knows. Well, he's seen a lot of the development of some of my jokes where I talk about body hair, and then
Right.
like he's seen me during summer when I was like, yeah, I'm not remember, and like I have like my leg hair's growing and my armpit hair's growing, so he's been exposed to my body, and I talk about it.
okay,
It's like I don't want to have that interaction in the bedroom where I need to explain it or defend it or
yeah, but then if you have the thing where like, and again, I think I'm 100% like fully. I would never say that you should do anything different than what you're doing, but at the same time, you don't want to like be worried about like maybe they're thinking something and they won't say it obviously unless they're a giant asshole. Like they would be like, oh, gross, like that would be horrible. Like they wouldn't say that. To just be like, oh, to just like to broach the subject like at some level, kind of just be like, oh, and, if it was me, I mean, I don't have to worry about this, like it's lucky, but
what do you mean? Oh, because you're a man.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like the thing is, I felt safe with him because I'd already sort of laid down the groundwork. It's
Okay,
like it's
that's
no
good then.
surprise, right?
That's good. That's yeah.
Yeah, and then even when like I walked in and we kissed, and like he rubbed his chin on me, he was like, "I shaved," and I was like, I didn't."
Oh well, there you go. Then you've like broken the ice on this,
Exactly.
and then it's just going.
Exactly. And then, but it was funny walking like after we sort of, once we were naked,
Yeah.
and then I went to the bathroom at one point.
Wait, sorry. You have sex naked? Are you-
Naked.
Oh my god!
I know
that's
it's radical.
disgusting.
It's so gross.
Very kinky.
It's so kinky. I am wild. So I went to the bathroom, and walking to the bathroom naked, and the lights were still kind of on. In my head, I was so aware of the hair on my body that it felt like I felt like my bush was like, you know, a meter out in front of me, and
Oh my. Yeah.
like in my head, that's how big it all felt. And then I looked in the mirror in the bathroom, and I was like, oh, this is like, what am I?
Yeah. No,
I'm
I
so
understand. Yeah.
conditioned to be so self-conscious of it because it's so not normal for me.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah. Especially when it's related to what you said. I have a big one now too. If it makes you feel better.
You got
I
a
mean,
big
I
one.
haven't.
You got a big
It's been
bush.
letting it go for like a few weeks now because I don't have any reason to. I mean, like I'm not extremely, you know, but it's still. But I've noticed in the past few days, just like, oh, I haven't hasn't been like this for a
You
while.
got a bush. You got
Yeah.
you got a muffy penis
Gotta-
area. It's funny, and it's
Yeah.
like but it's interesting. Like, do you notice? I don't know with men. I haven't really had a conversation about it. When you've got the bush,
Yeah.
there's like all of this extra sensitivity around it in the hair. Like when you is it
Really?
sensitive for you when you touch your bush?
No, I don't notice a difference.
Yeah,
with
have you
something
played
like
with
that,
it?
No, not specific. I will now. I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't think I notice a difference in that way. No.
No, okay, because it's like
I'm gonna
a
try it
female
out now that
bush
you
is
brought it
like
up. I don't.
it's like it's this different. It sort of creates this like 3D sensitive environment from like you can touch the top of the hairs and like it's like this whole mycelium, you know, like a
Oh, okay.
network
Yeah, no, I
of
understand. Yeah, okay. Oh,
network
I see.
of sensitivity that doesn't exist when you don't have that.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
No, I don't have that. No, I don't think I do. I don't think maybe it's more of a lady thing.
It might be more of a lady thing.
Yeah.
Because also the pubic hair for a woman is a little bit more protective. I think it grows a little bit more like to protect the pelvic bone a little bit, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either,
I'm
actually.
not a scientist.
I think it's like cushioning, like for all that plowing that happens.
Don't you think
from
it's
the
more for because
penis.
I always thought that like the evolutionary like reason for hair is to like catch things that could be
Yeah.
dangerous. Like that's why we have like eyebrows
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then also why we would have the hair there. Like it would keep because those are orifices.
Yeah.
And it just keeps out little things in the air that could
Yeah.
fuck you. I mean,
It moves stuff away from the area, and that's why men always have dirt in their belly button, is because the pubis.
Yes, I
the
do.
pubic
I
hair
have that.
moves it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Moves it
Oh,
up. away.
really?
Yeah, like all those hairs move up, and it moves up, and it
the
moves
stuff, the dirt climbs up like the happy trail
Yeah.
to your belly button. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I didn't know that.
It's like the dirt trail, is your belly. Yeah, pubic hair to your belly button.
So happy we're talking about this.
Yeah,
This
I'm so
I'm
happy you've got a
learning
bush.
things.
That's hilarious.
I really, yeah, I do. Yeah, I noticed it because it's been a while. Like I don't go like I don't go scorched earth or anything like that because I think that's fucking weird. I think it's a little weird on women too to be like totally. It's, like,
Like
it's a
being
little bit
completely
like
bald.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like like what are you 12 or something like
Right. The last time I did it, because I work at a kindergarten, I didn't do it because I work at a kindergarten. Whoa.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
no,
the
it's
last
too
time I
late.
did it,
The police are on their way. No, sorry. sorry.
but I hated it because it reminded me of the children at work. Like I have to wipe bums,
Oh, wait, are you fucking serious? That's part of your job? You have to like see them naked and wipe their asses?
Yeah, I wipe kids' bums. I change nappies and have to wipe poo out of vaginas. I have to wipe
my
poo off ball
God.
sacks. I
Oh
have
my
to.
god. I'm never giving if I have a kid, I'm not giving it to a kindergarten. I'm not letting
Of
people
course.
like you touch their genitals.
Oh, come on. I am such a great child carer. But the thing is, it's seeing all of these little children's buttholes and vaginas and like penis testicle areas. When you see them all the time, and they're like these, completely hairless, pure skin areas, and then you do that to yourself after it's like, ugh. I was really grossed out by having no hair.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like I personally don't spend a lot of time with
Children.
naked children touching their genitals, but I can imagine.
I wear gloves. Okay, I wear gloves.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Because of Corona, or was it like that before?
No,
too?
because
So
if you're going down there, it's very easy for bacteria to move if you don't wearing gloves.
like, I didn't
It's
know
just hygiene.
that didn't happen to me when I was in kindergarten. Like
Of course it did.
No, it didn't.
Of course it did.
Absolutely not. No,
You
no,
don't
no.
think? Did you have a childcare where you were in nappies? Like, did you go
What,
to
like
childcare?
preschool level? Like, no, I was
I
like
don't know.
kindergarten, like when you're like 4.
Okay, 4 you're already toilet trained.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well, my
kindergarten.
kindergarten. Well, yes, but in Germany, kindergarten is from year 1 through
Oh,
to
okay. So you're
7.
taking care of
So I
proper
was,
babies,
yeah. So I've toilet trained children.
getting up in those baby snatches.
Oh no.
Did I just ruin the part? It's been going so well.
I think that was the best part,
I've been
actually.
delightful.
Getting up in those baby snatches. No, that makes it
Those
wrong.
little 4-year-old hoo-has, yeah.
Oh no, pedophilia is. We know that it's not okay. Ew. Ew.
I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. This has
No, don't be a.
been very respectful and
But it's funny because it's out of it's completely wrong, and that's why it's fine. Yeah, baby's genitalia. Yeah,
this is good. I really hope other people here don't listen to this because I get enough flack, pedophilia flack as it is anyway.
because your
So that's,
girlfriend. How much younger is she?
almost 9 years.
Oh, that's the same as me and my comedian ex-boyfriend.
What? Oh, okay. Am I not supposed to say the name?
Oh, you can say it.
No, I know. It's okay. We both know.
Yeah.
No, that's a
9
little
years.
bit.
He was
that's,
9 years younger than me.
How old was he when you started dating? Like what, 23 or something?
Yeah, and
Like
I
when-
was
okay.
no, he was 23. He was 24. I was 33.
It's different.
He was 23. I was 32.
It's different though when the woman's because with the man being like obviously it's more common, but it's also much more common that like men are super greasy about that. Like that's the whole,
It's the
of
stereotype, but at
men
the same
being
time,
being shitty about that and like taking advantage of
yeah,
younger
being a
people and
power
stuff, so.
move. But at the same time, there's the
Yeah.
argument for men's emotional maturity, and so often a woman can connect. Like there's the argument that women can connect with older men because, they
Yeah, that
maybe are at a
makes- I can
similar
see
emotional
that.
maturity level.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm assuming that nobody actually thinks that I'm, because then they wouldn't
She's
joke
a
about
big
it.
girl.
Also, well, no, exactly. That's the whole thing. Is like I don't think anybody would think that she doesn't know how to make decisions about stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I don't, I don't
And
have
there's
a
nothing-
tendency towards that or anything like that. Like that plays no role in like
You guys are like peers, It's not like you were in a position of power in any way.
Yeah, no, I did think about that though. Like
Mm-hmm.
before anything happened, I was like, oh, like when it seemed like maybe it would, I was like, oh, I need to be okay, like let's take a second and think about the reasons why this could be like seen as or like could be like nasty or not something they should really do, and try and make sure that I'm not doing anything like that. I guess.
Yeah, I think you dealt with you had a sensitivity around it.
I think it was fine. It's okay.
But like my ex-boyfriend,
It's fun to joke about too, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's always fun to have the joke that you're
Yeah,
dating
no, she
someone way
she
younger.
constantly calls me a pedo. It's very fun. Yeah,
She's hilarious. Yeah, that's great. But no, my ex-boyfriend, that was 9 years younger than me.
Yes.
He's dating someone that's still like 9 years older.
yeah,
than
exactly.
him.
Yeah,
So,
but she does that on purpose, so which is funny. Like she used to always do jokes about like always going after. Like she does that as a tendency, which
Yeah.
is fine. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to say, but it's more of a it's more funny that way because.
whereas I always dated older people. Like my ex-husband was 7 years older than me.
Okay. Yeah.
Always dated older people. Except since I've been in Berlin. Yeah, there was 9 years. The boyfriend that I had for 2 years, he was how much? I think I was like 4 years older than him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like if you don't really notice it, then you don't really notice. Like the only way that I notice the age difference is like I don't know, like she's on Snapchat all the time, and I don't know what the fuck that is, for example. But otherwise, I don't. Otherwise, it's just like a person, Like I
Yeah.
don't notice the difference, So.
Yeah, and I think the older woman, younger man thing. That was that's problematic for me because like men, like I'm a very experienced woman, and so being with a younger man, it's like it's that their emotional maturity needs to be quite surprisingly good for me to have a match
Right.
there,
Yeah.
and they usually don't have that.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's an interesting thing about this because this is I've never had anything with anywhere close to this amount of age difference, but it's been like, and this has much more to do with her than her age, but
yeah.
but still at her age, like it's been preposterously like easy. Everything it's just been that
I'm
everything.
so
No. I'm not doing this. No. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. That's not what I was just saying, but in terms of things like that, like in emotional maturity, yeah, I don't notice. If anything, there's a lot of that, despite her age. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
it's
yeah. But
very,
women are different,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas,
Well, but also the same.
23-year-old man is gonna.
Well, the girl I was talking about earlier from earlier this year, she was older than me actually, and she did not have a lot of emotional
Yeah.
maturity. Like she didn't
Totally.
in like a lot of ways. So it has much more to do with the person than that. But
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Like I dated a guy who was 38 this year, and so that's 4 years older than me. And oh my god, what a. Well, I think he was just a psychopath. Actually, that.
Oh, okay, fun.
Yeah, yeah. He keeps coming up. Actually, no, I don't want to be giving him like airplay or power in any way. But like, yeah, 38 and like so eager to like just a narcissist. I don't know. I've been
Okay.
having a lot of exposure to narcissists,
Like an
as well.
unchecked narcissist.
Yeah, really unchecked.
Because I think it's okay if you recognize it and you can kind of just like have a handle on it. But like if you think like no, this is just I'm just great and there's no need to have any self-awareness about it.
Yeah.
That's where it can be horribly horrible.
Yeah, and usually narcissists are extremely controlling and
Yeah.
manipulative and judgmental, critical. Yeah. So, but yeah, like fucking psycho. What else? What else? What else?
What else do you want to get to?
Yeah.
What else do you want to ask me about? I'm still.
When did you lose your virginity?
I was 17.
Me too.
Oh. But I actually didn't even. Wait a second. I don't think I even kissed a girl until I was like 16. I was just horrible, just a complete hot mess with trying to get anything done as a teenager. And then
16's pretty late.
That's very late for something like that.
But then it only took you a year to pop the cherry.
Yeah, different. It's a disgusting term, by the way. No,
It is actually. It's quite violent.
no, you can. Yeah, it is. Well, and that's not really actually what happens, isn't it? Like it's not really.
But the thing is, I don't know. Like you could use that as symbolically. If you pop
Yeah,
a
of
cherry,
course. It's
you could be
more of-
popping the seed out of the cherry. So the cherry could actually be the penis, and the seed is like
It's
semen.
also it's also just like a figurative term now. Like you would say that about other things
Everything.
that you do for the first
Exactly.
time. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it only took you a year.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the same person, but But
No.
Yes.
No, you were
I
like-
guess so. Yeah. Now we've kissed. Get the fuck out of here. I'm moving.
I'm moving on. I got other girls.
I can do way better.
Now I'm gonna finger someone for the first time. Did you finger someone before you fucked?
No, yes, but that would have been like I don't know, like a week or two before that with the same person.
With the same person,
probably, yeah.
okay.
No, all of the bases I think was with the for the first time with the same person. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that's pretty tradish.
That's just the way it worked out. It was for both of us too. So which is nice. It's good.
That is nice.
Don't want to be judged or something.
Yeah,
Sure,
you
it was
grew up,
fucking awful. So.
and this was in Canada. Where?
In Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's sweet. And so you, and she was the same age as you, this girlfriend.
She's older than me. Actually. She was like a year and a half or 2 years older than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was it planned when you were gonna fuck, or
Um,
do you remember?
trying to. I don't know if it was planned. I'm pretty sure we'd already it was going in that direction. It was going to happen at some point soon.
How long had you been
actually,
together?
How long have we been together? It must have been like a couple months or something probably. But we were together for like 3.5 years. Like it was a long thing. I don't know exactly how long it would have been. Probably like a month or two or something like that. I actually think I think we tried one time, which was more spontaneous, and it didn't work. Like
What part of it didn't work?
I
You
couldn't get
get
it. Was I
inside.
guess yeah, exactly. Like I don't know if it was just closed or it wasn't quite. I don't know how I that can happen sometimes,
Yeah,
right? Like
totally.
something, yeah. So it might have been just like
But as 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds, you don't know about
no,
lubrication. You don't
exactly,
know
yeah,
about foreplay so much.
yeah, exactly. So I wasn't do yeah. I don't remember much, but I remember that that was spontaneous that we tried and it didn't work, and then but then next time it worked.
Bada bing,
Yeah.
bada boom. Was it romantic?
Um, I guess kind of not. I don't remember it as being. I don't. I remember it as being very just like okay that happened. But like in general, it
That's how
felt
you
like
remember
a
it. Okay, that
yeah. No, it
happened. It was
wasn't.
that
Yeah,
bad.
it was just kind of like
And you used the condom.
yeah, yeah. And no, I think like after it was nice. It's kind of like oh, because like we both and we were like together. Like it wasn't like oh we shouldn't have done that or something. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
meant to obviously. So not specific. I don't remember it as being specifically anything. I think it just kind of happened.
Okay.
It's just kind of like I don't think anybody had like a great time, but I don't think anybody was disappointed or anything. It's just kind of
Just
it
like,
was a
okay,
pretty
that was the
classic
first one.
first time, I think, for all involved. I think, if I had to say,
And it was sober.
yeah, fully, 100% fully. So, oh no, I was 17. I hadn't really gotten into any of the.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that would have been fully sober. Yeah.
I was partying pretty hard from 15
Oh.
through to last year.
Yeah. No. It
Oh
was
wow.
not. Yeah.
Okay, very wholesome.
Yeah. It was extremely wholesome actually. It was yeah,
Oh.
very very wholesome. Yeah.
So
The whole-
Berlin's really turned you off course a little bit.
No, I would. What? How, I haven't. No, I wouldn't. Or I don't. I've had a great time here. That's all.
Yeah. Hey, do you plan to stay in Berlin for the foreseeable ever?
I don't. Not the foreseeable. I have a very vague idea of going back to Canada in like 3 to 5 years or something.
That's right.
But again, that's very vague, and that would like circumstances around which people make those decisions can change quickly, and you
Yeah,
never know
right.
what's going to happen. So, maybe I really like it here. I would like to go home at some point, probably, and be around my parents once in a while. Now I'm going to make them listen to this so that I said something nice about them at the end
Yeah, just be like, only
after all the
listen.
balls talk. Yeah.
There wasn't too. Mainly the drugs talk is the problem.
Yeah, no, they can't. No.
This is not for them. Not
No,
for them.
my mom would freak the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents did. Yeah, they don't like hearing about it. But I've educated them a lot. And
Well, I mentioned that I've had a little bit of this or that in a safe environment and stuff like that, and they're still. My mom's like, no, but
Yeah.
there's a little like, we don't like it, but you're an adult or whatever. But if they listen to this, then like she would extrapolate the way we talked about it to the nth degree,
Yeah.
and then that could be a problem. So.
And the way that I was talking about it was like, no, but you were really off the rails. You
Yeah,
were out of
exactly.
control,
I think
Scott.
I
Oh
was
my God.
I think I was just like very flagrant about it around people,
Yeah.
and that it made it seem like I was doing it all the fucking time, which I really wasn't. Like it would only ever be like on the weekend when I know I have the next day off, and not every weekend, and not during the day, not during the week when I have work and stuff like that. But I think the attitude that I had about it,
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, you're a drug addict," and that's kind of
It's
the,
like you're working on it. Like you're getting there.
Yeah.
You're definitely getting.
well,
to
when I do it, I tend to, I like to.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like,
You did it well.
sure.
You did it well, and yeah,
Thank
and I also, and it also says more about what other people's proclivities are like, or tendencies
Sure.
are like. My interpretation of your craziness was because I have been very crazy, and I've
Sure.
engaged
Yeah.
in hardcore
Yes.
several nights a week kind of activity.
Oh no, I never got into anything like that. Like I have my job keeping me, in order with that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I-
Even in lockdown,
I was
like
very high functioning when I was going.
oh yeah, no,
co-resident.
I've on any of my things that are terrible about me, I'm very high functioning with. Like that's I don't know if it's good or not. Like, and the
No.
fact that I can cope so well with it is kind of like, great, I can keep doing this. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. I've never, but that's also my main motivation with controlling, recreation. Like, I don't know, drugs or alcohol. Even is kind of like, if you're not responsible with it, then you have to stop doing it. Right? So
Yeah.
it's like, I want to be responsible with drinking so that I can keep drinking. You know, because I don't want to have to
Yes.
stop.
Yes. Actually, I said this last night, and the sort of the most clarity I got, I realized that I have stopped taking drugs and drinking not because of my inability to control it, or
Yeah.
it's because of the people around me and
Okay,
me wanting
yeah, I
to
see.
change the environment.
Yeah. Well, I also really enjoy like being completely sober. Like, it feels
Yeah.
great. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get like urges like when I'm sober for us. I'm like, oh, I need to. I was like, oh no, this feels great. This is really nice. And then
But it
yeah.
can become so habitual. It can become such a
Yeah,
habit
exactly.
to
Yeah, yeah.
want to change
Yeah.
the sobriety into something different, and that's the issue, I guess. And I think I did. I say that I went sober for other people, but really, I just wanted to stop there being this like brain connection with but I could change how I'm feeling physically.
Yeah. I
Why not?
understand
Like,
that.
why not
Yeah.
get a new perspective
Yeah.
based on a physical change? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. I don't know. I'll tire myself out eventually. I think that's.
Why
I see.
not?
That's
You
the.
know, like you can keep
Well,
enjoying it.
yeah, this is I also for I think that I will like I naturally will relax with everything over time. I think it's kind of well I have already, honestly, like it's
Of course.
so
Are you going to become a parent?
oh, I have no fucking idea. I used to think for sure yes, and then for a little bit I was like absolutely not, and now it's kind of it would very much have to be like absolutely the right situation for it. Like, definitely not where like yeah, sure, whatever, no, child's fine.
Berlin?
But if it was the right thing with everything there and the person and the situation, the like life situation is really important.
Yeah.
Having the stability, like trying to deal with something like that without having like very high stability in your life would be horribly fucked up. I think it would be so difficult and stressful.
Yeah.
I can't take care of myself hardly, so it's kind of to take care of a human, and you would really need to think that the person you're getting into it with, like, we really are gonna commit to this and do this, and
Yeah.
really be very sure that you want to do that with that person.
Yeah. And also, I think it's really important to feel like if your relationship with them breaks down, that you could still
Yeah,
maintain
of course, yeah.
a good relationship as parents.
Yeah. So,
I think that's-
yeah, definitely, absolutely, definitely not soon. Anytime at all soon.
I think you need to like break your head open a few more times on toilets.
Yeah,
and
maybe I don't do that
Suicide
anymore.
circus. Daddy's in the hospital.
Yeah, Daddy's in the hospital.
He
yeah.
slipped in a club toilet. And
I went. It was a clinic. It wasn't a hospital, and I didn't need stitches.
I love how important these details are for you.
It's really important, and it's the only time I needed medical attention after taking drugs.
I've never needed medical attention after taking drugs.
Well, and it had nothing to do with the drugs. I didn't OD or anything like that. I'm very careful.
I love that. I didn't OD or anything. Oh no.
I'm a lot of fun, is what I'm trying to say.
You're so much fun. You just don't like sex clubs, or you've got a few inhibitions, but that's okay. I guess
Yes.
we all do.
Yeah. No. Sure. No.
Yeah. Do you have any questions or anything else you would like to bring on up?
Anything else that
Ski?
I'd like to bring up? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if there's anything else really interesting that I have to share on the topic.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Nope.
All right, so finishing off, that's been Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Follow me on Instagram, AF Barros, YouTube, Anna Barros, and Facebook, Anna Barros Comedian. See you next week. Bye.